My last thing to you is this. Do not let up. Do not let up tonight. Okay? Now, you know what? Grades has canceled out some of you playing here tonight. Grades has canceled out some of our JV guys playing here tonight. And I'm sad for it because you got exams next week. And I'm sad for it because we put a lot of time and effort into you and you should be playing. I hold the title of coach, but in my mind, coach means educator. And I'm here in a high school setting, and I believe that the academic side of this job comes before the basketball side of this job. 5 years ago, I adopted the policy that any student that has a grade lower than a C- will not be able to play in that game or any games until the grade becomes at least a C-.
I was doing so well in one of my classes, and I had a D, which one of Coach Danny's rules is if you have a D, then you can't play. So I tried that day to get everything done and get everything turned in, but I still ended up with a D, so I had to sit the bench the whole time.
I was a little surprised just because I would have thought like he would have think that was a much bigger deal being a starter on such a big and dominant team such as this, and just having to sit on the bench. Once I saw him with his head down and he wasn't even focused on the game, I know he was thinking about how he's going to bring that grade up.
Sitting on the bench was not fun. I was pretty bummed out and I was just like mad. But I knew what I had to do. I have to come back the next day, the next week. By the end of the year, I just need to get my A's and B's.
Kids know it. We check progress reports here at American Heritage every 2 weeks. I, of course, working in the dean's office, I'm able to check the grades constantly, and I do it. One thing I really want is our kids to have an education if, God forbid, basketball doesn't provide them an avenue to make some money. I want them to be set for their lives.
Came into the game knowing that it's a game we're supposed to win, and even though we didn't have those players with us, that we were supposed to win the game and that we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do.
Every team we play will be up and ready to play American Heritage, and that was the case when we went in there. We were confident, we were ready, but so were they, and they came out and they hit some shots. And you know what happens when teams hit shots early? They start to believe. We're at halftime of the game against Pompano Beach. Things are difficult for us. We're tied up against a team that's not as good as us in theory. But here's what's going on. We've got guys that can't get it together in the classroom. We've got guys that are playing that don't ordinarily play. And our size is sitting out. So when that happens, it becomes a tight game. I'm pretty confident we're going to do all right.
Ball stolen by Hando on the pass. Hando on the other end lays it in. He's done a great job off the bench. Boynton kicks it up to Taylor. Taylor drops the ball between his legs to Boynton. Boynton buries the three. Back-to-back threes by Kenny Boynton. His Heritage has the biggest lead of the game now, 48-40.
We didn't play as well as we should have, and we might have played even down to their level. So, I mean, we just had to pick it up in the second half, and that's what basketball is all about.
I was really happy that during the Pompano game an extra person stepped up. We haven't got much from Brandon Hando throughout the year. He obviously missed time with football and his commitments to that team. He finished out his season. They had a great season, so we waited for Brandon Hando. Hando and I have been together since I've been here. He's a senior this year, and he brings so much heart and just hustle to this team, and it came in handy against Pompano. So my hat's off to him for stepping up and taking a big charge, making big free throws. Obviously, Kenny Boynton's 45 points help, and he always gets it done for us. But I was glad that Hando was ready to help Kenny out.
He's a junior guard, not by the hair of my
I'm Jason Alpert. I'm one of the assistant coaches here at American Heritage, and in my past life, before I got involved in basketball, I was a television sports reporter. When I got out of that business to do many different things, including coach basketball, I started doing a lot of live event hosting and emceeing and PA announcing, including doing the NASCAR races down at Homestead Miami Speedway, and eventually traveled with the IndyCar series all over the country with that series, and this past year did some of the NASCAR races at Daytona. So I've got a vast background in PA announcing, and I figured why not bring that announcing that I sometimes do to 200,000 people at NASCAR to our quaint little 400-person gym here at American Heritage. At the end of last season, I started doing it during the games and figured I don't want to leave my duties on the bench. I'm going to take the microphone with me to the bench.
He's doing multitasking, which is completely amazing, as he's writing down stats, watching the game thoroughly, and also getting everybody in the fans psyched up and getting us ready for the game.
There have been other coaches who have come to complain for one reason or another, and they said, hey, listen, I don't know where it's coming from, but you need to bring it down a little bit.
Other coaches come to me personally from the other team, and they tell us to lower the volume and that he's getting to them, the players can't concentrate, which just makes it all the better because of course we don't lower it.
The other team will, they'll get distracted and they won't concentrate, and then, if we're on defense, then, we steal the ball and we can run up and make a layup. So it's good.
One game this year, one of the coaches pulled me to half court in the middle of the game while I was shooting free throws, and he says, who is that jerk of a public address announcer that you have? And I looked at him and I said, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, I don't know where the guy is. He's seated somewhere where he's hiding, so I can't hear what he's saying, and he's just very loud. I said, that doesn't make him a jerk, that makes him good. So listen, I don't always tell the players or the other team where our public address announcer sits, because we know where he sits. He sits on our bench, and he does a great job.